Okay.
Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to have our little meeting. How's everybody today? Okay, we'll start out with our normal stuff. We've got 5 tips that every computer member should know coming up as a subject. So we won't have a lot of time today. It will go a little longer than 5 minutes. We told everybody, have your presentation for 5 minutes. You can judge how well we do on that. There's our budget. We got 1827. Our money has gone down a little bit, but we picked up quite a few new members in the last 30 days. So only thing this one concerns me is the food pantry. I would ask that, we're going down gradually. So if you can think of maybe throwing an extra buck in that barrel when you do get a donut, it would be appreciated. We're up to 1827, so we'll maybe make 1,900 members or more by the time this year ends. It's pretty. How many got the newsletter this month? How many didn't get the newsletter? On the list properly, and with the website being changed and everything, our list is in a state of movement. So it's possible you might have missed it. And if you don't get it in the future, next month, let us know. Come to the lab sometime and just tell us that. Thank you. Okay, the lab upgrade dates, we got most of it. We get 1 computer to go to get it on deep freeze, and then the whole lab will be updated to the new computers. They do seem to be working better. We're not having any problems that I know of with since we put the new ones in. So that's good. We might have some problems with the mice and keyboards coming on right away because they are wireless and they sleep and they don't always come on. So we'll get that figured out, what the secret is of getting them to come up faster. Training, you want to talk about training, Ralph?
Yes.
Well, good morning. For March, we have 5 classes that are going to be taught in the lab. And since we don't have them up on the screen, I'll just mention real quickly. A basic Windows 10 class will be next Monday at 1 o'clock in the lab. And then George is going to teach a class on the 8th, Wednesday the 8th. I'm sure everybody in here has had a phone call that they can help you fix your computer. And even some of you let them try it. Well, I hope nobody else does. But anyway, George is going to talk about different scams and phishing things that come on telephones and also on your computer. Then Jeff's going to have a program on the 15th, on Wednesday. Wednesday's a pretty popular day. Getting started with Photoshop Elements. He's really sharp on photography. And everybody knows how to take a picture, but not everybody knows how to do something with it when you get done. And this class will be one of a series that's going to help you maybe make some changes to a photograph that you really want to keep and make it look a lot better. So that'd be a good class if you're really into photography and want to do something with the pictures after you take them. Think about Jeff's class on Wednesday the 15th. And then that's on the 15th at 1 o'clock. Then in the evening, on the 15th, Frank is going to have a class on Google Photos and Picasa. They're merging those together now. So if you got Picasa, you always want to come to this class and see how you can move things into Google Photos or how you can use Google to enhance the Picasa. And then on the 29th, also on a Wednesday, Bruce is going to have a class on Microsoft WordPad. Everybody's got Microsoft WordPad from Windows 7 and up. I'm not sure about before. And it's just a nice little Word document that is free. And he's going to cover how you can use that to write letters and different things like that. So once again, that's on the 29th. I'd be remiss not to mention our training videos. Anybody been on the library site to see training videos? Well, there's 4 or 5 of us. I'll tell you, that's really a good deal if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I wonder how I do such and such on this particular program. There's a 99.9% chance you go on lynda.com, you're gonna find a video that's gonna help you figure it out. And it's really simple to do it. Question?
Be sure they go to the Huntley Library, not just lynda.com, because that's gonna cost them money.
Well, they can't get them without paying money on, if they go to lynda.com. Yeah, you gotta go through the library. We actually have a link on our website. We're not sure how we're gonna have it on the new website, but on the old one, it's still there, where you can go into training videos and just click and the link takes you right to Lynda. But yeah, it's about a $400 a year program if you wanna buy it. But through the library, it's free. And it's really a good deal. If you have questions about it, when you come into the lab, we'll explain to you how easy it is. About 4 clicks and you're there with lynda.com. Also, I still got one of these sheets laying over there. We're looking for help. You can be a monitor, or you can be an instructor, but if you'd be interested, sign up. If you don't want to sign your name and let anybody else see that you want to do that, contact one of us in the lab and we'll get a hold of you. We'll try to help you get started because we always need extra help. So I look forward to seeing you in the lab. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ralph. We always need volunteers, so let's step forward. The membership renewal will start next month. They'll take money at the meetings, at our meeting here, and they'll also take it in the lab. So $5, preferably 1 bill, cash, is easier for us. It makes it simpler. We have the board meeting coming up, and they have their workshop meeting on March 8th, and the board meeting meets on the 22nd. Okay, this is our attempt at something different. We'll try it. And look, if you got any feelings when you, at the end of the meeting, see us. See me or Dave after the meeting and tell us what you think. Dave?
Good morning, it's 10 after 9. Where are your passwords? We have 5 vignettes this morning to share with you for your consideration, and we would like to emphasize the fact that everyone should be aware of the importance of each of these for you. These are introduction comments that I'm making now, and each of the 5 presenters, these are introductions to these topics. If you want to find out more, feel free to come into the lab, and we'll help you through that, or if not, find your friendly neighbor that's expert in computers, and they can guide you through it as well. We would like to ask you to save your questions until the end of until all of the presentations are made. So you may want to make a note or two if you wish with regard to the earlier presentations. I tend to forget the questions that I wanted to ask, oh yeah, but we'll get to that. Anyway, I'm going to lead off with Microsoft account. Here's the pointer. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of Microsoft accounts. I'll be leading off with that. Then, following me will be Jeff Stipes, and he's going to be talking about LastPass, which prompts the question about the passwords. So the question is, how many passwords did you have in your wallet, purse, or mind this morning when you came here? If the answer is 0, you may want to listen to Jeff. And then after Jeff, we're going to have John Sterling talk about Irfan, and his presentation will be picture perfect. That's a cue as to what Irfan's all about. John's just 2+ weeks after hip surgery, so please be nice to him. Following John will be, we'll hear from a new presenter. Shelley Goldberg is going to be presenting and answering all your questions about the cloud. Does anybody know what the cloud is? Well, Shelley will tell you all about it. Anyway, as the cleanup batter, it's going to be Frank talking about Chromecast and streaming. And rest assured that this is the computer club, not the sportsman club, so streaming here means something different. Okay, how many of you have Windows 10? Okay, let's go the other way. How many of you do not have Windows 10? Okay, about 20% still haven't. Yeah, Apple. You can eat your apple. So, now let's see. Pardon?
Your 5 minutes are
My 5 minutes are gone. Oh. And I'm only on page 1. Okay, so we'll get into establishing your Microsoft account very simply. It is important if you have Windows 10 to have a Microsoft account. It's just that simple. It equips you to be, it equips your computer to be able to do a lot of things that you want it to do. And if you don't have a Microsoft account, it can cause you problems. So, what does a Microsoft account afford you? Well, it affords you being able to get apps, music, videos, etc. Most are free. There's a lot of paid information that's on the Microsoft account site as well. It equips you to use OneDrive, and you'll find out more about that in Shelley's talk. Cortana, the little information gal that keeps talking to you if you have Windows 10 and you want to use it. And Edge, the browser. And so now we'll start into seeing how we go about doing that. First of all, you need to go to msn.com and sign in. And even though you haven't signed in, you click over here where the arrow is, and you click sign in, even if you have not ever signed in for an account. Once you've clicked there, another page will come up, and it's the sign-in page. And the arrow points to where you need to click next. You want to create an account. Once you've clicked on that, it goes to the next page, and you fill out, and hopefully you can see most of that in the back. I have replicated what I typed here, if you can't read it, out here, so that you can at least see what we typed in. We typed in SCHCC generic. And then we put a password in, and this created an account actually. You can create an account in any way you want to remember it. Anyway, once you've filled in this information, then you click next, and push the button. Then you'll get a form to fill out. And this is not the complete form, but this is the most important portion of the form. you'll type in your first name. Well, I typed in Sun City Computer Club. Then the username was what I had on the previous page. And password, state that you live, or the country you live in, the month, the day, the birth date, and all that information. I won't scroll up because I can't. This is a screenshot. And there's about probably 8 or 10 more questions down below that. Once you fill that form out, you click next or finish, and you essentially have established your account. You can verify that you have an account by going back to MSN.com, and you bring up a browser. You go over and you click on the user. And once you've clicked on user, it will confirm that you now have an account. And you can go to the Microsoft Store and find what you want, or you may never want to go there. But once you've established the account, it equips your computer to do a lot of different things that you will want it to do. But you don't ever have to go to the Microsoft Store to buy anything, to get apps or whatever. But you have the account, and that's what Microsoft wants you to do so that their equipment will operate better. Questions? We'll answer those at the end. One other thing I wanted to mention was, because Microsoft now owns Hotmail, Hotmail and Outlook are interchangeable with regard to a web address. I don't know whether you have a Hotmail account. If you want to replace Hotmail with Outlook in that system, then you can do so. With that, I will turn it over to Jeff. No, this is the slide over here. Okay.
Okay. LastPass, passwords. There's a big issue anymore is security. You know, you got a strong password that doesn't have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, you know, and how many of you got? You know, and it's become more and more important. I mean, one of the current trends is using phrases. You know, so I watch Perry Mason at 8 a.m. and eat Cheese Whiz. Nobody's going to crack that. But even if you have sites where you're not concerned about the strength of the password, for example, I have a fly fishing site forum, and all I do is go there and, you know, look up patterns for tying flies or building rods. And I don't use any real secure password for that, but it's one of 40 different passwords, and my ability to remember that when I need it is not real good. So enter in this application called LastPass. You install it, and then add it into your browser. It'll synchronize across your other devices, so if you have tablets and smartphones, it'll synchronize across all of them. You can use it on all your devices. But you then have to assign it to the browser that you're going to use. Currently supporting these 6, I'm not going to bother to read them to you, but these are the 6 browsers that it's currently supporting. And I think down the road it'll start to support more as it becomes more popular. It creates a vault. And when you create it, what I did here is I had to import all the Wi-Fi passwords that were in my browser. And you can see mostly from last summer's camping trip, all the different campgrounds, they were all there. And the nice thing about that is you can bring them in, you can dump them if you want to, but when I bring them in, it also gives me an option to tell me to delete them from the browser, so they're no longer hanging around in the browser. All right, I assign it as an add-in, and you'll see up here, so that when I bring up my browser, here's my icon for LastPass. All I have to do is click on that, and it will bring up the vault for me. I can go into the vault and execute stuff and change things from it. I'll get into some more of that. So simple password management, the thing you should be asking yourself right now is, okay, I've got this vault up in the cloud, it's got all my passwords in it. Am I secure? Is this really safe? The answer is yes. LastPass does not really know any of your passwords. What it does is you create one master password, a strong password, it then hashes that or encrypts it, and then all the passwords in your vault are encrypted. So if somebody were to go out to the cloud and steal your vault, all they have is this set of encrypted passwords, which is not going to mean anything to them. For example, I just used the word password and then had to use one of the encrypting routines to encrypt it. So if I used the word password as my password, here's what would be in the vault for that password. And it simply uses a mathematical algorithm to decrypt that into the actual password. So if you were to steal the vault out of the cloud, that's what you get. And you're going to have a lot of trouble with that in terms of coming up with the actual password. For those of you that are more technically oriented, it does the encryption and decryption at your computer. It doesn't do it in the cloud, it does it right at your computer. So nothing's happening out there on the net in respect to that. So from that perspective, it is quite a safe program. There's also a couple other levels of security that you can add to it. You can use two-factor authentication. You can have it bring something into your smartphone, a code into your smartphone. After you put in your master password, it will then ask you to put that code in. There are hardware services, hardware tokens. The one I like is it provides you with a grid if you're interested. And what you do is you simply print out the grid, stick it in your wallet, and when you log in, it will tell you, as you see right here, what letters to get out of the grid, put them in, and that authenticates it. Now, you're able to specify certain devices that will not need the grid, that you will not have to have that. So if on your own computer, you don't need to have to bring up the grid every time. This is nice when you travel. If you're out on the road, you do I have a little piece of paper in my wallet, bring me up if I'm on an open Wi-Fi site, that grid comes up. You can also ask it to prompt for reprompt for the master password. So if I want to add a site to the vault, all I do is I go to the website where I want to be, and then I selected the bulletin board here from the fly fishing site. Brings me into the bulletin board, and I actually log in using my password to the site. When I do that, then LastPass is going to come up with this green bar right here, and it's going to ask me if I want to add it to the site. And I can say add it to the site, and now it adds it to the LastPass vault. The next time I come into this site, there'll be a little icon up there. I'll simply click on it, and it'll automatically put my username and password in for me without my having to know it. One of the things to note here that's very important is the never option. There may be some sites where you absolutely don't want it. Maybe you do not want your banking password in the vault. So when you log into your banking thing the first time, this is going to come up. And if you don't want that at all for some reason, you simply click never and it will not go into LastPass. Now, anytime you go back to your banking site, you are going to have to manually enter your password. But like I said, if your security level, if you're uncomfortable putting that password out there, you simply say never and it doesn't go out there. As I said, if I click on the little icon here, I can get into the vault. From the vault, I can now edit. There's my Fly Anglers reference in there. I can edit that. It shows me the site. It's going to show me what the password is, and allows me, if I want to put in a required reprompt. And if I do that, if you notice, when I went to it the last time, went back to it, it should automatically put the password in for me. That feature was not turned on. If that feature is turned on, then what it's going to do is before it automatically puts the password in, it's going to come up and it's going to ask me for my master password. Put in my master password and then it will automatically put the password in for me. So, like I said, if you're not comfortable, if you want a little more security, you tell it to reprompt. And the issue, the whole idea behind the concept of LastPass is this is the last password you'll have to remember. So you simply put that master password in and you're good to go with that. I can launch from a website or a browser. I can bring up my Vault and I can launch directly from that. In other words, if I'm up in the lab and I want to get into my FlyAngler site and I'm not real sure what the URL was or something, I simply open up my Vault, go to the Vault, pick that, and it will automatically take me and log me in to the site. You see a little icon here that you simply would click for it to put in the password and username for you automatically. It'll do form fill. You saw that form that Dave showed you on Microsoft account. It has a form fill feature, and you put what data you want in. If you don't want to put bank data in, you don't put bank data in. If you don't want to put credit card stuff in, you don't put that in. But if I go to a site that has a form, then all I have to do is tell it to do a fill the form, and it will line up with all the fields in the form and come out of that form fill and automatically fill it for me with the data that I've chosen. And anything, for example, if I chose not to put my credit card site in, my credit card in there, I would have to manually put that in. They're only going to put in what you tell it is acceptable for the form fill. And it really speeds up filling in some of these forms. Tips. And these are much of my tips for locking it down. If you decide to use LastPass, obviously one of the big issues is use a strong password for your master password. And LastPass has a nice feature. As you're creating the master password, you have a little color bar. It starts out orange and changes. When that bar becomes green, LastPass is saying you now have a strong password. So it'll give you an idea if the password you're using is in fact determined to be a strong password. It will give you a place to do a hint. Some of the places say, they have a question, they'll bring it back, and it says a hint. I don't suggest using that. We all think we're smarter than the hackers, but you put a hint in that means something in relation to the password, and don't be surprised. These folks can reverse engineer this, and many times we can figure it out. So I would suggest you don't bother with the hint. If you're worried about it, write it down somewhere, keep it placed safe. Put a strong password on your email account. And again, the reason for that is, like all other softwares, if you forget your password, it has a I forgot my password feature, and it's going to send your password back to your email. So you want to make sure you're very secure with your password on your email in that respect. And the other thing is then, multi-factor or two-factor authentication. And again, that all depends on what you're putting out there. If you're not putting any kind of sensitive sites out there, if you've chosen not to put your bank password out there or any of your financial account passwords out there, then you probably don't need that. But if you've included those, that's probably a good idea to include that in the center so you're just a little more secure. I don't know if that was 5 minutes, but I'm done.
I'm going to talk about a program called IrfanView. This is a utility program that helps you do a number of things on the files on your computer. I'm going to talk today primarily about renaming the files. How many people have used IrfanView? Exactly as I thought, 2. IrfanView has been on the computers in the computer lab for between 10 and 12 years. It's a program actually that I use at least once a week. I use it to rename files, but I have a website that has 100,000 photographs on it. And these photographs don't need to be the 6 megabytes that you get out of a digital camera. So I use IrfanView to resize them down to 1 megabyte. And on the resolution that you get on a computer screen, those are fine. You can't tell the difference between 1 megabyte and 6 megabytes. And since you pay for storage, the amount of storage space you have, it's better to use a smaller file. When you open the program, some of the things that the program will do are listed here on this menu. Let me put some of my devices away. we're gonna talk here about batch conversion and rename. Let's say you go to Hawaii and you take 50 or 100 pictures. You would like to name all of those pictures Hawaii 2017 and number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this program, you can do that very easily as a batch all at one time. So what you would do is select batch conversion and rename. And when you do that, you come up here and you pick the folder where the pictures are located. And this will show you the pictures. And then you need a place to put them with the new name. So you need to create a folder, and I just created one called Renamed. And then you need to put the name. Now, what I did is I grabbed some pictures that I took when I went to Rhode Island in 2015. So the name of the pictures, when I rename them, will be Rhode Island 2015, and then the number signs there will assign a number, 001, 002, and so on. And then you need to tell it where you're going to put it. And remember, we made this folder called Rename. So here is the address of that folder, and you just browse to get that. Now, these are the pictures, and what you do is just just select the ones that you want. And after you select them, you come down here and you click Add, and it takes all the ones that you selected and puts them here in the list. So now you're ready to go. You come down here and you start the batch. And when you do that, your pictures, can you see the names here? I'm just here, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You can see here the name of the picture, Rhode Island 2015, 001, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, when you look in the different folders, you can see the, what's in the picture without having to even open the picture. Next.
Okay, I'm going to talk about OneDrive, which is Microsoft's solution for file storage in the cloud. Okay, first of all, what is the cloud? Basically, simplistically, you can think about the cloud as just the internet out there. Technically, it's companies that have file servers, tons of farms of file servers out there that will store data on the internet. But if you just think of it as the internet itself, you'll be fine. The cloud storage lets you store your files, be it photos, music, documents, videos, what have you, so that you can store it not just on your computer, but also on the internet. And the advantage of that is that you can start doing something with one device, let's say your PC, and then continue on something else. So let's say you're working on something and you have to leave for the day, or you're going on a trip, but you haven't finished the work you needed to do. You can take your laptop with you and continue working on your laptop on the exact same files, because they're stored on the internet as well as on your computer itself. So the advantage of cloud storage and OneDrive in particular is that it can work with all your devices. So it works across devices, be it a PC, a Mac, your phone, a tablet, iPads, you name it, you can have your files wherever you need it. So one thing for computer club members, for example, if you're going into the computer club and you've done some work there and you've created some documents or files, rather than just trying to copy it onto a thumb drive or onto a CD, what you can do is you can sign into your own OneDrive account and store it in your OneDrive account, and when you go home, that document or file is there for you. So why should you be using it? Well, for one thing, it's free. You get 5 gig automatically that you can start working with. If you have Office 365, which is the Microsoft subscription-based Microsoft Office, which gives you Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so forth, then you get actually a full terabyte of data. They used to get a little bit more, but now they're down to 5 gigabytes for free. But that by itself is still quite a lot. With 5 gigabytes, depending on the size of your documents, you can get about 5,000 documents of a page or two. You can put in 1,500 photos in there. So you can get quite a few things into 5 gigabytes. Okay, how do we start using OneDrive? Well, Dave talked about signing up for a Microsoft account, and this is one of the uses for your Microsoft account, is that you are now able to get into OneDrive. We had a number of people who said they're using Windows 10. If you are using Windows 10, OneDrive is actually built into Windows 10, so you're all set. And the same thing even if you're using still Windows 8.1. The app is built into the operating system itself. So all you have to do is sign into your account and you're all set to go. If you're still on Windows 7, you're going to have to install an app. It's still quite simple to do. All you have to do is go to OneDrive.com and you'll find a link on there and you can install the app. If you want a Mac, you can go to the App Store and you can install the app from there. The same thing if you want to install it on your phone, just go to the App Store, the Google App Store, the Microsoft Store, or what have you. You will be able to install the app for OneDrive. So you can then get it onto your phone, your iPhone, tablets, wherever you need to put it. Okay, there are 2 versions of OneDrive, and you can use them interchangeably. If you're at ease using Windows File Explorer and like using that, OneDrive is actually built in right into the File Explorer. So
Pointer.
pointers
Oh,
on the
no, the
Yeah,
pointer's,
but the-
pointer's down on the left.
Oh, here it is, yeah. Okay, so what you're looking at here is, you can see that this is actually OneDrive. And it's just another drive, which shows you the folders and files within OneDrive that's on your computer. So that if you're looking at this PC, OneDrive is just another drive on your PC. From there, you can do drag and drop So in this case, they've got a PowerPoint file, which you can just drag right in here and move it into whichever folder you would like to move it into. So you would just use it just like any other file of files and folders. If you're creating a file, create it and save it right within the OneDrive, and you'll have it stored there automatically. And the other way to use OneDrive is using the web app. And with the web app, as you can see here, it's again very simple to get to. All you have to do is go to OneDrive.com is one way to do it. Another way to get to it, if you're on Windows 10, you will see a double cloud in your taskbar in the lower right-hand corner. You'll find an icon for OneDrive. You can right-click on that, which will give you an option to go here as well. Then you will see that there are a number of apps that you can actually get to. You've got Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, all built in to the Microsoft Web Apps. This is Office on the web. So you actually can go in and use Word, even if you don't have it on your computer. You can use it in the cloud as long as you have a Microsoft account. So again, this is one of the uses for signing up for that Microsoft account. Okay, then the next thing we can talk about is one of the uses for OneDrive is that you can share files and folders with someone. So if you've created these files or folders and you want to be able to give access to your photos, music, what have you, to someone else, what you can do is simply, if you're using the web app, as you see here, okay, you would just pick the documents you want. You can do multiple ones at a time, so you can see this one has a check on it, for presentation 3. You would check off the ones you want, and then you would just go up here, and one of the options is share, and that then will give you a link. That link, then, all you need to do is copy that link into an email, and you can send that link to anyone you like. You can post it on Facebook. If you can share it, post it so that other people can see it. You can, if Twitter is your thing, you can tweet out those links and have people looking at your files. So you've got all of these capabilities here. If you're using File Explorer, you can have the same capability. There it's even simpler. All you need to do is right-click on a file or folder, and after you right-click, one of the options will be share it, and again, you'll get a link that you can email or post. Okay, finally, let's look at a few tips on how and why you would want to use OneDrive. And everybody should really, especially if you're using Windows 10, but even if you're not, it's a really good application to use for many reasons. For one thing, you can install it on your phone or on your tablet, and you're able to access all of your files through there. So that if you create new files, you can utilize those new files not just on your PC, but also on from your phone, laptops. You can go to a computer anywhere in the world and be able to access the files that are in your OneDrive. All you have to do again is just go to OneDrive.com. Which is, there's the HTTP, and just OneDrive.com. So it's very simple there. You would just sign into your account and you're ready to go. So you don't even have to have a computer with you when you go off on vacation. And as long as you're saving new files to your OneDrive, and you don't have to even be using Microsoft Word. If you're using one of the clones of Microsoft Office, such as Office Libre or one of those, it would work the same way. Just save your files that you create, your documents that you create, just save them to your OneDrive. One other thing you can do, good use for OneDrive is if you have a music file collection and where you're uploading the music to your computer, instead of just uploading it to your computer, upload it to OneDrive. And it's very simple. All you need is a music folder in your OneDrive. You would then just drag and drop music files, MP3 files, digitized music files. You would just drag and drop those right into your into the music folder, and they'll automatically be uploaded to your OneDrive. And then you'd be able to play those on your phone, on your tablet, or on a PC. And you can utilize for that the Microsoft's Groove Music app. So that's my presentation.
How many cord cutters we have here? You know what I'm saying when I say that, cord cutters? That's, how many people are thinking of cutting a cable bill? How many are thinking of it? Raise your hand. Okay, that's quite a few. Everybody's tired of paying that money every month. So you can, what we're going to talk about is a little bit about Chromecast. This device will allow you to take your computer or your laptop or your phone and project a full screen image on your new big TV that you bought a while back. It has HMI plugs on it, and you plug this device, and I know it's going to be hard to see, but it's the big one up there. It looks hard to tell how big it is. It's that small. This thing plugs into the TV. And this is power. That's it. It's wireless. So it will talk to your computer or your phone or a tablet or any device you have. It works with Apple. It works with Chromecast now, and it works with PCs. So that would project anything that you can see on your little tablet, from a video from YouTube to a full movie from Netflix. Netflix has a little box, you click on it, and it broadcasts. And it really works slick. Then there is the means of mirroring your TV so you can see everything. And that works on most phones. It works very well. It will broadcast everything you do on the phone. So you can give an instruction to your kids, or somebody's looking, oh yeah, here's how you do it. You look at the TV and you see. So then these devices have a feature that really is clever. It works with Wi-Fi. So you have to know your password for your Wi-Fi. When you got some friends coming over, you don't want to have the trouble of typing in or having them know your password for your network. So you can have a guest mode. The guest mode really is like, let's try envisioning how you'd use it. You'd have all your kids came over, and they all are talking about a trip they were on, or they're going someplace, and they have pictures of the kids, and oh, I got some clever ones here. So you're all sitting in the living room, and you got the TV on. Each one of the kids could, without you telling them your password, of your Wi-Fi. They could go on as guests, and they just click on it and it works. So that requires a little more setting up, but it's not difficult. So it's really getting to be a real important tool. And the cost of this device is a big $35. And I think until the 18th of the month, I think they're having a special at Kmart. I mean, Target. Target's having them for $30 or so. I don't know if it's internet only or not. It might be. But even at 35, it still is a relatively powerful tool. It allows you to take any video you get and make it a full-size picture, and the quality of the pictures on the screen are excellent. They look just like TV. So, with that said, you could take, how many of you have pictures on Picasa? How many of you projected those on the TV, those pictures? That 2, 3. That becomes very simple with mirroring Picasa. And you can, they're just up there. So that is something you can come in the lab we can talk about. There is another program called Google Photos that is a web-based cloud storage. We're recommending that everybody take all their pictures, the whole, from your little kids' scanned images, all the way, well, not your kids, but you, when you were little. And all the scanned pictures, you can put thousands of pictures free on internet's cloud, and they'll all be available to you. And they have, is Google, this is Google product. They work together. So that one projects the pictures too on your big screen. So this is a real big change from what you're used to. You can get every picture you've ever taken on your screen, and you can find them because they all go by date. And you can go by date, year, and stuff. So that is a real good way of helping you cut the cord, because there are lots of videos out there, lots of TV shows. Some of them you can get. The majority of the programs you cannot get legally without a subscription. But there are some subscriptions now, $20, gives you about a third of the major players, and you can watch those on the big screen. But you need Wi-Fi, and you need Chromecast to do it easily. So then you could, if you got, you're really serious about it, you can look at a program called, well, let's go to slides here. So we got this one. If you go on, if you buy one, you hook it up, you follow the instructions in it. It's easier to install it with a phone or a tablet. But if you don't have that, you've got to go to this. You see, it doesn't say anything about a computer up there. First, you have to go down here and read that right there. It says using a computer, or you click on that. So remember that if you get there, you can go down here and click in this area, and you'll get the computer side of the installation. I'm not sure if you type in Chromecast setup, it'll get you to this. And I think it depends on when the Chromecast was made, how the instructions are. But either if you go to the instruction that tells you in the book, it'll automatically go to a newer instruction. They're using something called Home now. It's Google Home will be the main device. You know that they also have the box that talks to you, Google Home. It will work with Chromecast too. You can say, hey Google, play my pictures from Yellowstone on the TV. And lo and behold, it will. So it really is spooky on some of the things and how it just works. So if you're thinking of doing that, cutting the cord, you could look at Kodi is a program that allows you to take all your video sources, your copies of your CDs that you made, you own, you have the rights to copy those CDs into Kodi, and they'll have a library, and it'll play them on a full screen. That doesn't require, it will use Chromecast to project the pictures to your TV, but it'll be on an interface that will work with a tablet, a phone, or a computer, a portable, like is the easiest way. So just take that, see, we got a slide of that, I think, here. That is the spelling of Kodi. Take that and look it up on Google, and you'll find thousands of hits on that subject. Some of them are not really legal, but they're out there. If you really want the program and stay legal, just get it from Kodi.org. And that way you'll get a legal copy, and it doesn't have any illegal files on it that would make you get arrested, yeah. So that is about it. I hope we covered a whole bunch of different things. We'll ask anybody got any questions for any of us, who will come up here and answer them. There's a mic. Okay.
I have a question. Windows 10, Cortana, what is the downside of using that? Is there one?
It remembers a lot of the things you asked, that's for sure. It'll know about what your tendencies are, what your questions are. So if you're just asking it routine facts, it doesn't mean nothing. You know, let's say, how far is San Francisco? What's the recipe for making beef stew? It doesn't make much difference. But if you ask it a lot of technical questions, it'll know that you're on that subject. And it might use that information for advertising. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon also has a product called Fire Stick. There's Fire, which is basically the same thing as the Google version, and it's about the same price.
Yeah. But, yeah. Somebody else got a question back there? Push the button on the bottom.
Okay, I've got a question.
There he goes.
I have a question for Jeff. Do you ever recommend printing your vault? Is it even possible to print your vault in LastPass and then put it in your vault, in your physical vault? And secondly, do you recommend using auto change? Because you're always prompted to use auto change on the passwords.
I suppose you could print, the only way I know that you could print it would be if you brought the vault up and did a screen capture of it and stored it as something like Word. You have to do multiple captures because they're all in different folders. In terms of the auto change, what's going to happen is you'll need to then enter that new password into the vault as it changes.
Question?
Yep.
You have a slide on Chromecast. There were two devices. What's the difference between them?
One's an older version and one's a newer version. They're, operate the same,
Okay,
99%. Might be a little faster on some things, this newer one, than the older one.
okay, I have one more question.
Okay,
You talked about cutting the cord. If I did that, how do I get Wi-Fi?
you'd pay for Wi-Fi. Cable subscription, you can just get Wi-Fi.
So I'm already doing that.
So you won't, your bill will go down because you're not getting TV, you're not getting a phone or all the other things.
Okay,
The phone you can do savings too.
thank you.
It appears that with LastPass, if someone steals your notebook, all you have to do is turn it on and go.
No,
All right.
because you have to type your master pass. Is that correct?
Yeah, you would have to type in your master password to get into the vault.
So every time you use it, you have to type your master pass.
Right, and that's the whole concept. Last meeting, that's the last password you need to remember.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. I bought my computer a long time ago, and I may have signed up for the Microsoft account, but, I don't know that I did it. I don't know.
Okay, if you got Microsoft 10, the easiest way to know it is your sign-in says at the top when you sign in, it ends with Outlook.com. If it ends in Outlook.com, then you have a Microsoft password. If you don't have Outlook.com, if you have some other name up there, then you don't have a Microsoft account.
Would you initially have to go into LastPass and put all of your passwords in for each of your accounts or whatever? Initially?
No, what you would do is as you go to those sites, it would automatically add them to it. And when you remember the little green bar where it said add the site or never add the site. So only, you're not going to want to try and manually put them in. What you would do, for example, I go to my FlyAngler site and then it adds it for it. It brings it up and it asks me to add it, so then I add it to the LastPass site. You could do that, but it's easier just to go to the site.
George?
Yeah, there are also other password vaults out there. If you're a Comcast customer and you've downloaded the Norton package, which is free with Comcast, that has an excellent password vault on it as well. It works very well. It works both in the cloud and on your own computer. You have an option.
One of the biggest problems we have in the lab with people coming in for repairs is they don't know their password. We have to send 3 or 4 people home every week to get their passwords because they don't have them. We really would like to see everybody get a program like LastPass. Any place you go that has Wi-Fi, you can get a password to any one of your accounts.
What is the difference between the OneDrive and Dropbox?
They're very similar. They're very similar.
Yeah, they're similar, and they're competitive products. So you have there's OneDrive produced by Microsoft, there's Google Drive produced by Google, there's Dropbox, and there are myriad others out there as well.
Is anyone better than the other?
They're competitive. So they all have give you a free. For free, you can get either 5 gig or what have you, depending on the product. And then they have subscription basis for additional storage.
We have some sites where our password automatically expires and it requires you to put in a new password. Does LastPass automatically pick that up somehow?
You would re-enter it, you would go to the site and do the new password, and then you'd have the new password saved to it. You would have some manual, you'd have to do that.
The biggest difference, the question of Dropbox and other services, is about $99 a year.
Yeah.
I may have set up my Microsoft account when I started a Windows 10 computer the first time. And don't know for a fact, but I have a clue that I think you could probably interpret correctly. When I start up the computer normally, I got it set up where I don't have to enter any password. But say I put it to sleep, and then come back later after it's gone to sleep, and that gets live again, when I wake it up, so to speak. Then it asks for a password, and I put in a password that is one that I probably would have picked, and it logs on. Does that mean I have an account, a Microsoft account?
No, not necessarily. If it's a laptop, bring it in, it's easy to check it. If it's not, bring it, just come in and we'll show you on another computer what you have to do.
Thank you.
Okay, one of the things we want to stress is that, we got one more question back there, but these instructions are just to give you some ideas. We don't expect you to know anything. You'll leave here except, hey, there's a program out there that'll help. And we heard about it at the computer room. Okay, what's the last question back there?
With LastPass, if you happen to be going into your computer at a time that their system goes down, can you circumvent it and still get into your programs you want to get into through your website?
I guess you'll have to get that microphone closer to your mouth and then try repeating the question a little bit better.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. With LastPass, if you're going to a website at a time when their system goes down, how do you circumvent to still be able to do what you want on your computer?
Yeah, if their website's down, you're not going to be able to get into it.
They must have a 99.999% time it's up.
There was a question about where do you get LastPass. You simply go to your browser, Google, and type in lastpass.com.
One other thing with LastPass, Microsoft has now includes add-ins, or what they call extensions, with their new Microsoft Edge browser in Windows 10. So if you're using Windows 10 and Microsoft Edge, you can look at the three dots in the upper right-hand corner where you can get a menu for printing, zooming, and so on. One of those things is to get an extension, which takes you to the Microsoft Store, and LastPass is one of the extensions. It's free, that you can then install right into your Edge browser. Some of the other extensions that they have are translation, so you can translate from one language to another, any web page, to and from, and also there's an ad blocker that you can use as well.
I'm going to make one final comment about LastPass. When you go out there, you'll notice that there's both a free version and a paid version. You pick the free version. The only difference between the free and the paid version is the paid version gives you more customer support, but it's the exact same program.
And the last thing is that, George, go ahead.
Jeff, one quick question on LastPass, to answer her question. You used to be able to put your LastPass file on a thumb drive. I don't know if you still can or not on the version, and that way, if the system was down, you could just use it off a thumb drive.
I don't know if you still can or not.
We have a little applause for our panel.
Yes. We'll be up here, and if you want to ask the question, come on up and talk to us. Thank you. We'll see you next month.